Wentworth Woodhouse, you beautiful, amazing big old building. Right at the start and going into the first day, I was filled with so much anxiety. What if I wasn't good enough? What if it wasn't the right thing to do? What if I was taking too much on? Or what if nobody got along? There were God knows how many thoughts running through my very fast whirring brain, all the way up to getting through the doors of the house, but then it was all different. Of course those starting anxieties were there, but as soon as we settled in, I knew that I was in the right place. I've been able to share my knowledge, my passion and my creativity through the projects that we've already done, from using my recent freelance interview knowledge from uni for the getting to know you videos, or coming up with a creative idea that we then turned into a pitch, and obviously now working on a drone shoot is all exciting stuff. I even put forward the name Sonder just on a whim, and people liked it, and now with Sonder Productions, I've been able to have that creative freedom that I think I've needed for a while, getting to nerd out of the kit, which I always tend to jump straight into, or sharing my passions and ideas with the other members of the team, or simply just enjoying that feeling that I do know that this is what I want to do. Especially kind of after being in a slump due to the pandemic and focusing all my time on uni. It's a way for me to branch out again and get back into doing what I love, writing, creating video and film content, and just having fun with my passions again, which is why it's amazing to fit in with a team of 10. Obviously one I've, known all my life, but getting to work with Ryan, being known by the brothers Widdowson on something a bit more professional than the funny weird stuff we've been doing from home in the past, especially now that we have the kit too, just makes me realise why above all else I enjoy doing this with them. And the same goes for everyone else. Despite not knowing them for very long, we've all kind of gravitated and opened ourselves up to each other. We've created a strong and close-knit team that can come together, select our strongest skills collectively and create amazing things, but above all we're able to have fun while we do it, and I've genuinely enjoyed spending time talking with them all. The same goes for Tom and Steve. They may be leading us on this creative venture, but listening to them share the knowledge and enjoying seeing what we come up with seems to give them some joy, I assume, and it does the same for me too. I guess within a month I've already achieved so much of what I set out to do beforehand. Initially, my main goal was to build my confidence, not just in what I do, but in myself. I struggle a lot with having confidence with my skills and my creative ability, even despite creating work that's constantly praised, and if it's uni work, it tends to hit at first. But that anxiety and that imposter syndrome of wondering if I'm doing the right thing kind of holds me back, which is where I've surprised myself this past month, because I feel like I've built that confidence and I've not held myself back as much as I imagined I would. I also had the goal not to close myself off and to open up and try and make new friends while doing this, and I imagine this would have taken me a while, but it was almost instant, and if all goes well I imagine the 10 of us could be friends for life. I suppose that leaves me open to more goals for the next 5 or so months, or at least the next month. Really, I think my goal now is to continue building that confidence in myself through being creative, working with the others, sharing my ideas and passion, and just working with the kit and further building up my skills, some that I already have and some that I could work on. I think with how this past month's gone too, I want to look at the possible avenues that could take me and just keep constantly creating outside of Wentworth and outside of uni, even if it's just for myself to see. One thing I do know though is why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's not just the same things I've said over and over about the passion and being creative and making friends and content and all that, but I'm doing it for me, to kickstart my dream career and do what I've always known that deep down I can do, and also prove myself wrong, make myself and everyone proud, especially my dad and granddad, who if they saw what we were doing now, there were big smiles on their faces. But I guess that's it for this month though. Wentworth's become a home, and honestly it's already looking like a time that shapes not just my career, but me to become the person I always wanted to be. See you next month, and I'm off to enjoy this brew. That's going cold.
Good evening, or good morning, or wherever you decided to watch this. This is my video log of everything I've been up to so far at Wentworth Woodhouse. Oh, and a little note for you: if you see me putting on clothes, it's because it's really cold in here. Week 1. So in the first week, what we did was we went on a little tour around the house, or some of the house. It's impossible to do all of it, I think. And it was really useful, because it helped us to get to know people pretty much immediately, and touring the house incredibly useful. I mean, I don't want to be one of those people that's like walking in out of fire doors and like, damn, that's the wrong door sort of thing, but really useful as a first week. Week 2. So unless I got my dates madly wrong, I think the second week was the day where we filmed our intros, something which I never expected that I wanted to do, speak in front of people, but as you will learn in a matter of moments when I talk about the rest of it, It seems to be what I've done non-stop since we started doing this, like speaking in front of the group. Don't really wanted to do it, but I suppose it is really helping me. I'd written my intro beforehand, and I had to rein it back because the brain went too far. So I was like, stop it, brain, you've gone too far this time. Hate looking at myself, but I'm getting better at it. I'm gonna hate editing this video soon because it's gonna be me droning on. But yeah, really useful to set up all the kit for the intro. That really taught me a lot. Tom taught us a lot to just get used to the kit to a certain degree. I'd never used kit to that standard, and even though I know bits, I think my stubborn mind will go, oh, I know that, but then when you learn it, you're like, actually, no, I don't know as much as I thought I knew, and then sort of pushing you past that into sort of, now I know it, but I didn't know it then. So really useful, yeah, second week. Week 3. So the third week, we got ourselves into groups, and we started coming up with ideas for the final project, which is going to happen in June. I teamed up with Adam and Ryan. And the reason I did that is because we'd spoken a bit in taxis, and I think we all had similar sort of ideas. As well, we learned story writing skills. Tom taught us about story writing skills, which really interests me. I'm really interested in script writing and things like that, so that was something I find really useful. And as well, story writing is something you can take onto all sorts of things, really. I can't remember who I was listening to on the radio a while ago, who said, you know, what makes humans humans is that we create stories. Everything we do is a story. Planning our day is a story. And when we think in our head, imagining what we're going to do that day, that's creating a story in our head because we're picturing what we're going to do and creating a story for ourselves. Week 4. So the fourth week, I think the thing that really pops out is that we filmed our pictures. To be honest, looking back at it, what we did in the studio, I think we could have done a bit better with it. But you learn from these mistakes, and I think we are learning from our mistakes. Then I edited it over the next day as well. So again, the fourth week, really useful. Week 5. On the fifth week, we did a couple of things. We'd been set up in other teams to create a live TV project. Again, it was a lot more of the reining back the brain period. I'd come up with some stuff and I was like, yeah, this is a good idea, but I was just like, brain, think this out for a bit, because you're getting too forward for yourself. And the brain's like, whoa, good idea. And the body's like, is it though? On the Monday, we pitched to the Dragons the ideas from the week before. So they saw our pitch videos and then we answered questions. It was a good way to practice that sort of stuff. It was a good experience. It was what was really I found interesting as well was listening to the other people's ideas, because you're getting ideas from their ideas, or you are thinking how their ideas could work with our idea, and really listening to how they pitch, because you get ideas for thinking, oh, I could have done that. Why didn't I do that? And then the day after we filmed the live show and I had to present it. I didn't want to, but I did say that if nobody else wanted to do it, then I'd do it. So that was my mistake. But it wasn't a mistake, because I did it, and the relief after I'd done it was pretty big. I don't want to be a presenter. I don't want to do it again. But it made me feel a bit more confident that if I had to, I could do it. We also did an editing workshop, which was really awesome. Did some editing on the live TV show that we did the day before. Hated watching myself, but we worked with Connor. He was really useful to work with and really interesting to listen to. Him talking about things that I didn't know about in the editing software. But again, really useful week. Week 6. Now we haven't really started week 6 yet. Week 6 starts tomorrow, but I'm gonna count our brilliant weekend looking at the streaming service filming a big show, of course. Really enjoyed it. Just seeing people wandering around and stuff. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I couldn't stop grinning when I was there. So that was one thing. I'm glad I could wear a mask, otherwise they'd be looking thinking, what's that weirdo doing just randomly walking around with a massive grin on his face. So yeah, so far at Wentworth, it's been amazing. Loved it. Right, go out of this room now and I can finally take off these many coats. Ooh.